So we know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got picked up for 2 more seasons, and we just had that, like, sneak peek. It's not really a full-on trailer, just kind of, giving us a, hey, the series is still alive, don't forget, even though it's coming, you know, in, like, July. So there's a lot of stuff to unpack in this, so let's kind of dive into it quickly. Obviously, the last season ended with, what I would say is a complete ending. You could see that as a complete ending. Other than Fitz is somewhere out there in space and the whole time travel thing that they did last season, feasibly everything turns out good. Coulson obviously dies. That's what's kind of pushed in this. Agent May talks about it. We see Mac. He's now the new leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everything looks to be crazier than ever. There's space travel, wormholes, warp speed. Like, it doesn't even look like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. And that's to their, you know, praise, because ever since season 2, it's been constantly evolving to be nothing like the last season. And honestly, looking at this one, there's a lot of questions that it raises in a very smart way. Once again, they're ignoring anything that might have happened in Infinity War and Endgame because we don't really know how that's going to go. And that's smart because, once again, it's a self-contained thing, right? When they used to backpedal off the MCU in the early seasons, it felt like you were just spinning your wheels waiting for something to happen. It could be like, ah, look, we mentioned the movie, right? But now they're taking the other road, and this trailer was clearly it. Albeit there's something that could possibly connect to something more deeper, because as the trailer ends, they've been very much hammering into your head. Coulson is dead. And then we see Coulson. Although it's suggested he's either a Skrull or something else. Maybe Eternal? I don't know. It's very much that mystery, right? And that's why this exists. So looking at it in that way, you know, it raises a lot more questions than it answers, but that's really what it's about. And as they've said, going forward post-Avengers Endgame, the new MCU landscape is going to be different, and we're going to have to kind of tune into everything to see the little pieces of everything, right? And this is our kind of first indicator of the TV universe, and clearly they want to go, you know, go big or go home. I mean, you just see the amount of explosions and special effects and things going on. They're spending a lot of good time on this, and honestly, this trailer was really good. You know, who would have thought 6 years ago, if you would have been like, yeah, you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that show a lot of people are trashing, that's gonna outlast Daredevil and everything else. But here it is, and it's really formed its own universe that it doesn't even need to connect to the MCU, and that's kind of like what this felt like. It almost felt like it's its own thing. And I think that's serving to what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has become and what fans want. And honestly, if it's Skrulls, Eternals, whatever it is, they can work with it. And who's to say that, you know, Agent Coulson is clearly in Captain Marvel. Maybe he was Skrulled at some point, maybe he wasn't, maybe he was replaced at some point, we don't know. But there is a lot of people saying, hey, is this the start of Secret Invasion? And realistically, me personally, I wouldn't do the Skrulls as a one and done. Like, Civil War isn't even over. I mean, the reason you can argue that they lost in Infinity War is because Civil War was still going on and they don't talk to each other, right? Because that's clearly a big central point to the MCU, why they're all divided. So, maybe Secret Invasion, but it's going to be a TV style thing and maybe tie into the movies a little bit more. But once again, we don't know how it goes moving forward. But overall, it looks awesome. There seem to be some new powers going in there. Someone was like bamfing in there or something. I don't know. It looked pretty incredible. Anyway, looks awesome. I can't wait. It's getting me more hyped for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than ever before. So it's doing its job.